I'm the guy who was given the plan that could change our world. And I've done everything in my power not to tell you that. You might have done something like that too, because that would mean that you are not becoming your authentic self. Now, we never know what that's going to be when we live because it's going to change. That's why we live, is to become something different, something more. But at times we don't always do that, and we can get stuck and we can get lost and feel like we don't matter. And I've been doing that for a long time, but I couldn't do that today because I do know that you're in the world to do something wonderful. And see, my plan for the world becoming what it could be doesn't work unless I get out of my way and unless I cause you to become all you could be, unless I cause you to fulfill your potential and live your best life. But I was afraid of myself, as you might have been. We all are, because we don't know who we're going to become. We don't know what we're going to become, and we don't know what our world is going to offer us. And recently, that might have seemed a little uncomfortable, strange, or different, except you come to discover that there is order in your life, and there is order in our universe. And at different times that we might live, different people discover that and figure it out. And obviously, that was my life. My life was challenging. My life was difficult. I went through every horrible thing. And I said, how could this have happened? How could I have been given this? And then I didn't believe it. No one else believed it either. I'm just telling you, you will find when you're developing something about yourself, it's many times other people won't believe you, even your family. My family didn't understand it either because I didn't. What I'm saying is that we're always discovering something new within us. It's not coming from anywhere else, it just comes within us. And then what happens is we give it to others, and that's how we evolve. But now you'll understand the story because today I had to tell you. Several days ago, I was told through Wilhelm, and some of you will get this, some of you will not understand it, but Wilhelm is this consciousness that I connected in 1989 that I didn't know why I was doing it, didn't know what was happening. As I'm going through all these horrible things now, and all of them are gone, and I'm healed, and I'm going to be 75 in November. And I'm saying that because you have to get over your disbelief of what you can accomplish. All of us do. Otherwise, our world still keeps falling apart because we're not willing to become ourselves. We're not willing to own ourselves or love who we are. And that was me. But today, the universe said, we can't let you do that anymore. And the universe is probably saying that to you as well, because we do have energies in our universe that are kind of controlling things and controlling you and what you think and how you're programmed, all of it. And we figure that out at different times. We've talked about Abraham Maslow, self-actualization. Why would we need that? Because we want to know who we are. And then we had Carl Jung, who talked about synchronicity, and then maybe did individuation. That was a great one because now we say, well, wait a minute, maybe all people matter because we come in differently. But then we move through periods of our civilization where we don't understand that, and we've lost part of who we are because we're not understanding that. And I understood it, but I wasn't willing to tell you. I'm saying that because I didn't know. I didn't know what Wilhelm had given us all, and that's what I'm talking about today, so I have to be completely honest. Wilhelm gave us something that has never been seen in human history, because I sat down every day over 36 years and wrote down this information, and it was aligned with the energetic changes in our world, and I went through every difficult, challenging human experience, and all of them are healed, and I'll be 75 on November 2nd. That's probably the best testimonial that I could possibly give you for what this work has done, and then you'll decide if you're going to change or stay afraid and in doubt of who you are. See, because that's what happened when I first was convinced to do a channeling session in 2021, because I wasn't going to do that. I said, I'm not going to channel in front of people. They're going to think I'm out of my mind. And Wilhelm said, no, we have so much to tell you, because your world is going to change, and we've given you all the information. And they said when we first started, the reason we're doing these sessions is because we want to help you move beyond your fear and doubt. Because whenever we live, that's what we have. within us and within our world. And so we decide if we're going to change it. And then when I did that first channeling session, they started giving me all this information that I didn't understand. They had me go back 500 years to look at the world and say, change. And it's going to change again. Then they start to tell me about the United States. And the United States is going to be the biggest change. I go, why? And they said it's all energies, it's all movement of the planets and the galaxies. We don't understand that. I certainly didn't understand it. And all I'm doing every day is sitting down and receiving this information, and then it turns out that it is turned into a philosophy that's never been seen in human history, and I'm the living example of it. But today is the day that I can no longer keep hiding, because that's what I've been doing, and we all do that because we become afraid. We've been programmed through fear. We have. Fear can hold us back, and this is why over centuries, and this is what Wilhelm said, you're going to see those in power who are going to control you because you won't believe you have any power. I said, well, why would I be doing channeling? Why would I be bringing through this? Why would I be given a philosophy? And Wilhelm said, because your world is moving through a period where not enough of you know who you are. Not enough of you have been awakened to your true power. I go, really? I said, we've demonstrated it through you. I said, is that why I suffered? Is that why I struggled? And then they told me something else that I couldn't believe, and now they keep showing it to me. They said there's an organization in the universe, and they said, if you meet someone, we've given you a message on their birthday in 2012, because that was another energetic shift you went through in your world. And I said, that doesn't make sense, and I didn't want to try it. You know, I wouldn't ask people. I think they're going to think I'm out of my mind. And then it worked every single time. And so they're saying that I discovered the organization of the universe in a certain way, but did I discover a skill that I had that I didn't even know? Yep, you probably have one as well. We all do, because as we evolve as humans, we're meant to develop something new. Otherwise, the world doesn't change. So I'm going to give you something today because I want you to understand, because I am changing everything tomorrow, which is why I'm sending this out today. What I'm changing is my work. I'm just putting it all out there. I started this in 2021, just so you're really clear. I didn't trust it at first, just like you might not trust yourself, but I put people in this program. I only use 31 days of this information. I have 36 years, and that's what I'm going to spend the rest of this next year working on too, is putting it all together, because it is the first time that a system like this has been done. I know that people aren't going to believe it. I didn't believe it at first, except I'm seeing the results. And then other people who did it in 2021, when they started, they saw the results as well. But I will tell you, that frightened me. I said, how did that happen? And I stopped myself. You can do self-sabotage because you become too great. You can see what you might be going, and then you sabotage yourself. I did that. So I'm changing that tomorrow. That's why I'm putting this out today, because I want everyone to understand. And I want you to see all the information, because there are no limits to what you can do. I lived my entire life to prove that to so many people, and I wanted to see the world better as well, because that's always been the person that I am. I thought I was just this nice person all of my life. No, it was more than that. I came with a mission to help you know yours, because you have one and it's here now. And I don't care how you're feeling now, if you're afraid, if you're looking at the world, especially in the United States, and thinking, oh, things are terrible. No, it's just waiting for you to awaken to who you are. And I was supposed to help, and I wasn't doing it fully. Now I'm doing it fully. But I also couldn't have explained it to you because you haven't seen this before. I haven't either. You have something we haven't seen, and that's what everyone is waiting for. So this is the first part of it. This will be another thing that will stretch your imagination, because several days ago, Wilhelm said, we want you to go and put down all the messages for the next several days, through October 3rd, actually. I go, why am I doing that? And he said, because your world's going to go through some things, and we've given you all the information, and now they'll understand it. And so they started with here, because I felt like I was at my my lowest low. I must tell you, because I said, my family's never going to give me any money anymore because I'm not owning myself. That's what goes on as well. And so I just want you to see it, because this is the day I have to change it. As you go through each year, you will understand more about yourself. you will understand more about what's happening in the world. I'm saying this because there are no channels who have done this before, and this is why it was so different. And people couldn't have understood me or this information because it was deliberate. So now, because we are supposed to evolve, even in channeling work, but I couldn't tell people that I did something so different than all the other channelers. I couldn't even own it, but that was on purpose. So here we come to 2020. I was saying to others the other day, I said, listen, I discovered Wilhelm even on certain days, because I got up today and I saw something happening in the United States. So I went to 2020 because that's the organization that I was given. And I'll read this one to you because this will make sense to any person who would hear this. It doesn't matter even where you are in the world because it'll be the same. You are your government that must change. We must tell you this is not the message Roger expected to receive, and it is one of the most difficult. But because Roger has accepted, although always reluctantly, his role in this lifetime, he slips back into denial, as you have. Denial, while it never really works, will only last for so long, and then the gig is up when you believe it is. We had to lighten the mood. Now, reread that sentence for greater understanding. We told you your world is moving through a massive restructuring, emanating from the United States, but it must begin with you. Somehow, Roger thought he might be exempt from this process, but none of you are, which is why you are alive now. You can choose to either accept the opportunity you've been granted in this lifetime to evolve, or remain miserable and do it again. Now you see the choice Roger has before him. Last night there was a presidential debate that displayed all manifestations of the restructuring we have mentioned. The good news is you all will finally understand what was meant by the meek will inherit the earth. More about that tomorrow. Roger has a webinar he's holding today which he has made quite important. Last night he had something arise in his personal life that caused him to become distracted. Roger could attempt to believe this was accidental, but he knows it is not, and it is an issue he has tried to maneuver for lifetimes, precisely as your world is trying now. Roger struggled with being in his role, which is love, but not giving it to himself first. Roger thought his meekness was weakness, and it was the opposite. But it wasn't needed fully until now. Roger has decided to change how he has governed himself and accept his abundance. We are not kidding with that statement, and more of you will have this experience. The challenges you all experience with a lack of anything in your lives are born out of your not accepting your path, guidance, and role. When you are quiet, you will hear it, and in your attempt to blame another, you will not. We will continue tomorrow as we want to fill you in on the day's subsequent events, as they will be magnificent. Your world will show that if you change. Now, they're talking about this. You see that I received this on September 30th in 2020, and they're talking about the United States, and the United States government probably will shut down tonight because of the manifestations that we are seeing. Now, that is something that I couldn't have told you. I didn't know that I was doing it, and this is why other people couldn't understand Wilhelm's work, and I didn't either because it's never been done before. But it does cause any of us to heal. I've put together several documents. I want you to have them because you will understand more, because as of tomorrow, I'm saying this is because I'm going to have more offers. What I have on my site today will change anyone's life and take you to anywhere you want to go your entire life, because I have that much information, and I'm going to put it in there. As I said, there's a portion of it, but it's going to go in there, and as it goes in, that's when it's going to go to that much higher rate, a tuition rate, because I want everyone to have it. And we have to change our lack mentality. And I wasn't doing that because I wasn't charging enough for this, because this is the most valuable program anyone could own, and I didn't finish it and didn't do it, but that's what's happening now and beginning tomorrow. I'll always be something for other people. I'll be doing different things. I'll always be doing private channelings. I'll always have group channelings. There are going to be more of those, but those are going rates are going to change as well because I have to charge more. I've been doing this to myself for a long time. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my life and getting this work. So I have to honor what I've done as I want every single person to do because you are worth that much. Now let me show you why I know this, and this is something that I couldn't have explained before, but now I can, and everyone was confused about this work. But if you look at the world, and if you look at your life and what's happening, it will make sense. There's organization as well. I put this together very quickly last night. I was showing it to members of my program, my group this morning, but I want you to have it so you will understand. The Wilhelm philosophy, a sophisticated framework for global consciousness evolution. The Wilhelm philosophy, first revealed through its messenger since 1989, provides a clear, verifiable, and cosmically aligned system for navigating humanity's current evolution. It transforms personal and global uncertainty into a systematic path for self-actualization and collective awakening. I'll give you the link for this so you can read it when you can. But the core message, interconnectedness and purpose. Now, first of all, you have to think about something. No one person is creating the world. It's all of us. So that's a concept that we have to come to at some point. But anyway, as you go through it, you will see the trajectory of all of this information and where we are now in your life and in our world because we're all interconnected, and that's the understanding that we come to over time. And as you can see, that was the first one that they started to tell me, but accepting that was a little difficult. Now, why Wilhelm is here now? Cosmic and global timing. The Wilhelm message is presented as a precisely timed, systematic approach to self-actualization designed to guide humanity through a period of necessary global restructuring. This timing is proven through energetic alignment evidence. And so it goes through and shows all of the Wilhelm messages and how they were aligned and analyzed. I could have not known this because I was operating from a different dimension when I was receiving it and also demonstrating from what I lived. Astrological alignment, cosmic proof. The evolution of consciousness follows universal organized principles intentionally timed with major cosmic cycles. This proves the current evolution is not random but orchestrated. And it goes through and talks about Wilhelm's curriculum. 17-year curriculum systematically maps humanity's progression, aligned perfectly with generational astrological shifts. Again, it was so surprising for me to see this because I could not have known it. And we are all evolving into something different, and this is why artificial intelligence is helping more of us understand different things, even what we already possess. I couldn't have done this any other way. What Wilhelm philosophy does for us. Wilhelm's guidance serves as a roadmap for the human race, providing a practical method to overcome generational doubt, heal divisions, and consciously move into a higher dimension of reality, healing division through new perspective. The philosophy provides the exact new way of seeing ourselves and our world needed to overcome duality and conflict. And then actualizing. Now, I'll tell you, I ran from this. I didn't believe it at all, even though I'm experiencing the healing. But that's the thing that we all move through, that self-acceptance and believing who we are. And obviously my life was meant to do this. I thought it was all these other things, but it is this, and especially at where I am, don't have much time left to do it, so I'm doing it now. But I want you to look at everything, and if this is for you, please join the program, because if you come in now or tomorrow, today or tomorrow, you'll get everything for that one rate. Anybody can afford it if you truly want to become brilliant, because this work will do that, and I can tell you, and this is why I guarantee you, there's certain things that are theoretical. You can say this might work. I can't say that. I know it works because I had to live it. I had to live it to prove it to you, to prove it to everyone, to prove it to the world. I'll tell you one other thing that's so funny. If you go to my website and read all the articles, you can probably trace it all the way back to see exactly where we are now, which was really kind of funny to see that. However, I'll leave all the information and some other little articles that you can read. You are here to do something wonderful. Now is the time to do it. The more of us who remember that, the world will shift. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow, because Wilhelm says they're going to reveal more then, because we are moving through some changes on this day. See you real soon.